Hi guys and welcome back. So sorry for having been away. I was in Nepal. It has been literally an amazing trip. And if you have the opportunity, I highly encourage you go visit Nepal. It is worth it. Today I want to talk to you about real world assets. That's something that I don't know if you noticed, but I messaged you on our weekly newsletter and also at the same time on Discord writing, guys. This is the time to pay attention to RWA. So real world assets. It was about 10 days ago, and literally right now we are seeing the whole industry pumping by 10x, 5x, and so on. The point is, which are the tokens that are worth the bet, and at the same time, what we can expect in terms of growth into the next future. That's exactly what we were going to discover into this video. Just before to start, guys, let me say this channel is about educational content and nothing has to be intended as financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, that's super cool, but do always your own research before. Okay, guys, let's start, and don't forget to leave us a big thumbs up and drop a comment to the comment section. That's the best way to support us. Small effort for you, but really means a lot to us. And also at the same time, let me know into the comment section which are your favorite real world assets tokens, because there are many that are coming out. Obviously, I'm not on track with everything. Well, what I have done is selecting for you 50 different tokens that I will share in the next couple of videos, because I don't want to kill you today with 50 tokens. That's too much. Today I want to just show with you my top 5 tokens that could literally be the game changer. These are the tokens that you should keep an eye. Maybe you will not buy them because most of them are big market caps, but you have to check them out, analyzing and understanding which moment they are changing their path, their trend, because they are the trendsetter for the whole industry. Okay, let's dig into the matter. So first of all, let me say why real world assets are about to change the crypto and DeFi ecosystem, and which has been the trigger to change everything. So as you know, real world assets means that we are finally embedding real things. It could be like a bond, a commodity, but also a property or any kind of object, any kind of thing that is existing into the reality. So in our world, we are bringing it on chain. And obviously, if you think about the value of things that we can bring from the real world to the blockchain, it's almost infinite. And the beauty is that the more things that we are bringing on chain, the more transactions are happening on chain, the more revenues are generated by blockchains and by protocols. So TVL, so the total value locked, is represented by all of these assets that are literally embedded into the blockchain and locked into the blockchain. That's a big metric that is showing us how big this market can be. If you want to track these numbers, what I can suggest to you is using DeFi Llama or rwa.xyz. That's another beautiful website that you can check out in order to know more. What you can see basically also from this chart is that we have seen literally an explosion of the total value locked into the blockchain by real world assets. Obviously, we are still talking about a small number because, as you can see from the chart, it's just about 6 billion. Yes, it's a good number, but nothing special compared to how big is this market. What is happening right now is that after the announcement by BlackRock, yes, again, BlackRock is not anymore just about the ETF, but it's about creating a fund on chain, a tokenized fund. That, guess what? It is using, as you can see from this post by Coinbase, it is working with Coinbase and Securitize. And this news is interesting for 3 main reasons. The first one, it's obvious. We are seeing a big player like BlackRock joining the space, giving authority to the blockchain, saying it's not anymore a game just to speculate. Yes, meme coins are still a big thing into the crypto space. But we are finally seeing big players, institutional players that are using the blockchain to do the same things that they were used to do into the real world with TradFi instruments. And that's something that is a game changer. It's not possible anymore to say that DeFi cryptos are simply about speculation, because it's not anymore. Right now, this is a tech, this is a tool that can be embedded into the real finance. The second reason is because it's showing us how Coinbase could play a big role into this revolution. And guess what? Coinbase has also a blockchain, the Base blockchain. It is a layer 2 on Ethereum. And this is a pretty bullish announcement for the Base ecosystem. That's the reason why maybe you have or you heard some kind of buzz and a lot of hype around this blockchain. That's the main reason. The third big news is about Securitize. Securitize doesn't have a token, but the reality is that it is showing us how tools, companies, technologies that are tokenizing assets could be really used by these big players to make cool things. And that's the reason why we have seen also many projects like TokenFi, Bricken, and so on, literally exploding after this news. Why? Simply because what they are guessing is that this BlackRock has been just the first drop to start an ocean, a new ocean of different funds and different applications that are using the blockchain as underlying technology. And maybe you heard also that Grayscale is following that example and it's launching its own on-chain fund. What I do expect, but it's just my speculation, is that into the next future, I'm talking about 6 months, 18 months, but what we can guess will be the next bull run, we will see many announcements like this one that can literally pump the price of any real-world asset token. Okay, now that we have understood the trigger, let's understand which are good projects to keep an eye on. As I told you at the beginning, as I have selected around 50 different assets that I will show to you. I have divided them by market cap. And first of all, before start to showing you which are the tokens that I love, I want to add a thing. Remember, guys, right now we are literally on the edge of something that could be literally historical. And this means also that a lot of speculation will come out. Remember, when it comes to real world assets, if you want to just make a bet to a small trade to speculate, that's fine. You can use any kind of token as long as you are aware of the risk. And the risk is that many new projects will start using the RWA just buzzword just to make you feel that that project is about real world assets, even if it's not. Remember, usually real-world assets are something that are requiring a lot of time. That's the reason why it has been a long time since when I was talking about swarm markets. At that time, nobody was caring about it, but it literally made 150x since the first time that I talked about that. And it's mainly because it's taking time. You don't have just to look at the chart or everything right now. You have to think long term, because behind the scene, there is a lot of work. There is something that you can't see, but it's happening and will literally be the trigger to make that token explode at a time when it will be ready. So this is an important thing to say, because most of the people maybe will simply fall in love with a token just because it's growing and so on. But check out which are the investors of that project, which are the partnerships, the real partnerships. What we want to see by this kind of projects is partnerships with institutions. That's the real juicy part. Okay, let's start with the first project. So the first project, I want to start with MakerDAO, even if it's not anymore the biggest one. Yes, I know. In terms of market cap, at least, circulating supply, this is still the biggest one. The point, and this is something that can literally be a game changer, MakerDAO started like a DeFi protocol. It became a real world asset protocol because obviously right now is mainly backed by bonds and so on, just after that. So that kind of evolution and that shift, it's not for granted that it will be able to maintain the leadership. Either way, seeing the price of MakerDAO growing, that's a big signal that also the small caps can follow. And the reason why today I want to show you 5 top projects plus a couple of OG projects from still RWA space is because you should use them. Yes, from one side, if you want to use them to invest, most of them are also offering perpetuals on the different exchanges. But at the same time, you can't expect to make 100x out of MakerDAO, or at least I hope so, but I really doubt that MakerDAO could reach a fully diluted valuation of around 350 billion. In my opinion, it's too much. I do expect that MakerDAO can reach something like 30 billion, maybe even 50 billion. That's something that is doable. But more, well, it's a little bit too much, in my opinion. Obviously, we are just speculating. At the same time, if MakerDAO and many of these big comps are not having so much space to grow, there are many other small projects that I will show you in another video that can grow for that kind of 10, 50, 100x. But you need to understand that they can pump only if these projects are pumping. So keep an eye on them, put them into your watch list, and in the moment when you are seeing a reversal on the upside into the trend, that's a good entry point. In the moment when you see a reversal downside into these projects, that's the time to exit, to close also the positions for the other small caps. Let's go to the second one. It is Ondo. Ondo is one of my favorite projects. Literally, I was following it since the launch, since the moment when they have done the pre-sale. It's an amazing project. They have been building relationships with most of the institutions. They launched 2 different stable coins backed by real world assets, and in this case, it's about bonds. So we are literally talking about yield-bearing assets that are stable coins that you can use into the DeFi space. This project literally exploded since the launch. As you can see, they started here. It was about January of this year, about 0.2. Right now, they're already 5x up. And as you can see also from the numbers about the market cap and the FDV, well, we are talking about something that is big. And I'm surprised, and that's something that we have always to remember, guys. The market can be irrational for much longer than you can expect. So trend is your friend. Follow it as long as it's keeping going. Going on. In the moment when you see reversal, well, in that moment you have to exit. I know that it can be a little bit tricky, but use a technical analysis in order to understand if a project is still keeping its own uptrend or if it's something it's changing. As long as it's going up, let it go. Don't try to catch the top. It's a game that is always a losing game. Trying to catch the bottom and the top, it's almost impossible. You can get it once and you have been just lucky, but the most profitable things is entering and keep it on as long as it is growing. Honestly speaking, when it comes to Ondo, it's already much bigger than what I was expecting, because right now it's already an FDV about 10 billion. Maybe too much. Well, it can grow and it will grow in the next future much higher. The point is how bigger it can become. At the end of the story, moving the price of something has 50 million of FDV or better circulating market cap is much easier. The FDV, I know that's something that is just a number, and it's not representing the real liquidity into the market, but it's showing us that into the long or medium term, according to when there will be the unlock of the tokens that are not yet counted into the market, circulating market cap, well, in that moment, a selling pressure could come and could literally cap the price of the token. I do expect this token to grow, but I'm not expecting something more than 5x, 10x into the full next bull run. Going on, there is another project that is pretty interesting and is pumping like crazy, and it's called TokenFi. TokenFi, it is a token, is coming from the Floki community, so the meme coin community. That's the same team. That's the reason why maybe you heard that this token is also a reward as for the people who are staking the Floki token, and could be also the reason why we have seen that meme coin pumping so much. I know this kind of duo, from one side meme coin, on the other side real world assets, sounds pretty ironic, but that's also the beauty of cryptos. So this token is about tokenizing any kind of asset, and it has been growing like crazy. This is the chart since the beginning. Right now we are reaching a top about 300 million market cap, so it's pretty big, with an FTV that is already almost 2 billion. And if from one side, the same kind of principles that I have been describing to you for the previous projects are applying also for this one, the main difference is that when it comes to meme coin communities, well, irrational things, irrational price actions are always possible. So if for the other ones, yes, they are much more institutional approach. In this case, it's much more about trying to get a real world assets for everyone into the community and try to involve people who made great meme coin. Going on, I want to show you also reserve rights. That is a project is coming from the previous bull run. As you can see here, it was starting like in 2019, so pretty long time ago. There is still much more space to grow in order to reach the top. We need another 10x in terms of upside. It has an FDV that is about 1 billion, and it is in a strong uptrend. One thing that I want to tell you when it comes to these projects that are coming from the previous bull run, it's even more important to check the chart. Usually, when a big resistance is broken, in that moment, the kind of explosion, the kind of a movement on the upside could literally be really violent. For example, here, if we break this level here and we are about to, well, reaching first like a 0.02, so doubling, and after that reaching this peak over here, so 5 times higher, is, I'm not saying probable, but it's absolutely possible. Obviously, guys, don't use CoinGecko to make your analysis on the chart. Use TradingView or any other proper chart. I'm just using CoinGecko just to speed up the process and make the video shorter. A final word about reserve rights is about stable coins that are the backbone of the whole DeFi and crypto ecosystem. And right now it's backed by other assets, but it could be backed by any real world assets. The 4 projects that I have been showing you right now are the only ones that are having an FTV higher than 1 billion. So just 4 projects. This is also showing us how small are the projects that are about real world assets. And we are talking about something that can literally reach a full market cap. So the market cap of this niche, that could be literally almost about 1 trillion alone, because we are talking about something that will literally be able to tokenize into the next future. The point is obviously how long it will take to fulfill this process. But right now, it is amazing to see how most of the projects are still having a market cap that is about 10, 50, 100 million. So it's beautiful, because obviously going from 10 million to 1 billion, that's something is much easier than going from 1 billion to 100 million. Well, it's still 100x. So there is a big opportunity like never before. You can think about real world assets like what AI have been like the last year. We are just moving the first steps, and well, soon we will have big players, really big players also into this space. The 3 projects I want to show you are Centrifuge, GoldFinch, and Maple. All of them are great about using credit, tokenizing the credits, and serving institutions, and so on. We are talking about projects that started a long time ago that are like a mid-cap with a little bit of history. The history, as I told you, can be used in order to check the chart, understanding which is the upside. As you can see, most of them, or better, all of the 3 are much lower than their all-time high. It is really probable that in the next future, they will break their own all-time high. But there is a thing that you have to remember, guys. Yes, most of the projects, or even probably all the real-world assets projects, will pump. The point is that the space is getting more crowded every day. And yes, we are seeing Maple, GoldFinch, Centrifuge having great partners, but at the same time, a new player like Ondo came out, and we don't know which other players have been moving their steps for years, and they are just about to launch. So it's literally a space where I'm seeing a great opportunity, but be careful on which tokens do you buy, because obviously, yes, everything will pump, but not everything will pump at the same time. So build a portfolio instead of just going all in into a single token. Diversify your investments according to which is the funding that they have received, which are the partnerships, where a token is listed. And where the token is listed could be used in two different ways. From one side, if a token is already listed on Coinbase, that's great because it can attract more liquidity. But at the same time, seeing a token that has not been listed in any exchange like a IXS, that is like a marketplace for real world assets, well, this is showing us how big is the upside if they will be listed. So obviously analyze all the different factors, create your portfolio, diversify your portfolio, because in an industry that is so young, it's literally difficult to understand. Okay, this is a great pick, this one is a bad pick. I don't know. I have my preferences, obviously, and I will tell you. For example, today I love Ondo. I'm following closely reserve rights and also TokenFi. Personally, I'm not invested neither in Centrifuge, GoldFinch, and Maple, not because they are bad projects, but simply because right now there are so many and there is no space to cover them all. So feel free to take your own decisions. All of the three are having a good traction. GoldFinch has great partnerships. Centrifuge is the bigger one among the three. Maple is the small play, maybe can grow a little bit more according to how is the market cap. But again, diversify because nobody has the answer. Guys, let me know which is your favorite one among the ones that I have been going through today. Is there any other project that you think among the big caps that is worth to talk? Otherwise, I will see you soon into another video where I will show you the small caps, the gems, and the ones that I love, that I still analyzing and digging into the matter. Okay, guys, let me know it and leave me a big thumbs up, drop a comment, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye, guys.